Happy 4th of July. Welcome to Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center, because tonight we have our inspirational talk and our prayer. Saturdays, live on Facebook at 7 p.m., which it is right now. We also have our talks, my talks, up on YouTube. Rev. Margaret Palagye. You can watch them anytime you want. There's many up there. So, Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center is located, when we are in person, located in Westmont, New Jersey. And all of our talks right now are live on YouTube and on Facebook. I would like to tell you about two fantastic classes that we have. One starts this Tuesday. It's called A Return to Love, based on that book by Marianne Williamson. And I and Reverend Rita Biancasino will be facilitating that class. Then we have another class on July 20th with the fabulous Dana Smith, one of our new practitioners. And she will be teaching this class, and it is based on the law of attraction and infinite possibilities. So that's going to be a really great one. On the 11th of July, check our website, joyfulgathering.org. On July 11th, we have Martha Creek. She's offering 4-hour workshop, or you can take 2 hours in the morning or 2 hours in the afternoon. So check that out, joyfulgathering.org. And while you're there, we do have a donate button. We appreciate all of those people that are donating right now. We're very grateful to everybody. We are persevering, and we hope to be open in August. So let's begin the talk for this evening. Our theme is freedom in the fireworks. Since it is the 4th of July today, which is like feeling so weird, but it is July 4th today. And that seemed like a really appropriate title, Freedom in the Fireworks. This is the day that we celebrate America's independence from the country that I was born in, by the way, from Great Britain. And we also celebrate the Independence Day for ourselves, as we experience the personal freedom that can be found in the midst of life's fireworks. Because here's the truth, here's the spiritual truth. Within every hot spot, there is the cool grace of spirit. Within every fiery explosion, there is the brilliance and the magnificence of Source. And within every firework, there is the gift of God's beauty and freedom. Now, those are really lovely words, but what do they mean? Especially, what can they feel like, and what can they really mean to us when we're in the center of what feels like a firework going off? And you might feel you're there right now with everything that's going on. You might have health issues that you're dealing with. You might have a financial challenge, a relationship predicament, troubles with a job, with getting a job, unhealed wounds coming up. The great division of our country right now is in our faces. Racial inequality is in our faces. All of this stuff is coming up for us. You name it. But whatever it is, when you're in the middle of it, you're hot, right? And you're uncomfortable. And you feel like you just might explode. Kind of like you would feel if you were in the center of a firecracker. And when you are in the center of a firework, you can't see the beauty that's really there. You can't see the freedom that's on the edges of the experience. And I want to let you in on a little secret and a way that you can connect. Actually, there's two secrets tonight. The way that you can connect with the cool grace of spirit, the brilliance and magnificence of source energy, particularly today, the magnificence of God itself. This gift of freedom and beauty. And you're going to see by the end of this talk, it is a gift. It's a gift that we allow ourselves to express and to feel. So the first secret is it lies on the horizon. You might say, what? Just think for a moment, though. You're going to get this. Just think for a moment. You're standing somewhere where your view is not blocked by obstacles or buildings or anything like that. How far can you see? You can see as far as the horizon. And that's it. You can't see anything more. Now, in our physical world, we know that the horizon is an illusion. We know this. And as we walk toward it, it always stays the same. We never reach it. But when it comes to meeting life's explosions and fireworks, our greatest challenge is that we tend to believe that the horizons that we see are fixed walls. That's all there is. There's nothing beyond what we see. For instance, here's a few specifics related to the challenges that I mentioned earlier. You might say, in the middle of all of this, I'm scared to death to leave my home. I'm afraid of contacting the COVID-19. Or my expenses, you might be worried about my expenses are way beyond my means, and I don't know how I'm going to pay any of my bills this month. Or I've just been let go of my job, and I don't think I can get a job, especially in the market today. How am I going to get a job? Or I feel so lost in these emotions as these old wounds are coming up, and they're overcoming me. We've said those things, and if we haven't said them to ourselves or others, then someone we know has said things like that that they really are concerned about. And that's because that is what we experience when we are human. So that's totally normal. Those are normal human reactions. But we are so much more than our human experience. We really are. Well, those might be normal human reactions. Think about the consciousness that they are coming from. Each of those sentences is spoken as if you believe that's all there is, if they're actually real and present and static and solid and not changeable. We think everything is going to last forever when we're in the middle of it. It is as if you believe that the land you see between where you are and the horizon is all the land there is. There is no other land. I don't see any other land. And as if when you reach the horizon, you will, as the ancients believed, fall off the edge. There'll be nothing under your feet. That's the end of it. When we are in the middle of fireworks and can only see the horizon and not beyond, we would be well advised to get up a little higher, to get a new perspective. Further out, right now, in your mind's eye, climb up on a hill where you have an unobstructed, beautiful view of life and what life could be. Let us look forward. Let us look forward. By doing this, we extend our horizons, which is the secret to experience the gift of God's beauty and freedom. Right in the middle of the fireworks is to rise above the condition. When we stand on a higher place, when we lift our eyes up from that place where we are in the middle of that experience, seeing beyond the moment, we have an extended view of the horizon. Think in your mind's eye, when we really feel stuck, or afraid or confused as many of us do right now. We can choose to see above that condition. We can. Just for a moment, in this now moment, we can choose to see past that and to know that this too shall pass. Any experience, I don't care what human experience it is, cannot last forever. Just know that. That in and of itself is grace to me. But right now, we're being pulled out of our comfort zone, and it feels really very uncomfortable. Things are changing. Our beliefs are coming up for us. All of this darkness, because we all have a dark side as well as a light side. We're brilliant lights, but there's a dark human part of us that is coming up now, but it's coming up, as most of you know, it's coming up for us to see it and see the depth of where it's coming from, the core beliefs underneath it, and to heal it. If we are open and receptive to recognizing and seeing and owning those parts of ourselves we might not like. We might have looked away before, but now they're in our face. So that's what talk is about this evening. And the thing to remember is that nothing in this human experience is permanent. Nothing. The only thing that I truly believe is permanent is the spiritual truth of who we are. That eternal, divine self within each of us. That is permanent. That God self. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "The range of our possibilities at the present time does not extend far beyond the range of our present concepts. As we bring ourselves to a greater vision, we induce a greater concept. In this way," he writes, "there is a continuous growth and unfoldment taking place. Little by little, we can unfold our consciousness until at last we shall be free." What are we being free from? We're freeing ourselves from those heavy thoughts and those stories that we make up about any situation that we're in that makes it so much worse than it truly is. So then how do we see beyond the horizon? How do we lift up our eyes? That's our second secret for the day. It's not really a secret, but it's a surefire, tried and true way that you can lift up your eyes, which is a metaphor, lift up your consciousness from the place you are to a higher place. And it is this: see God in everything. I'm going to explain this. See God in everything. In order to embody our concepts today, we must actively train ourselves to look for the good. Because if God is everywhere present, the good is everywhere present. But this is really important that I want you to get, because people will say, well, then why is God allowing all of this to happen in our planet, in our country, in my life? God isn't allowing any of that to happen. Remember this, that God is in this world, but not of it. Not of it. So all the circumstances, those are all happening. But the divinity, and this is a whole nother talk, so I don't want to go off on that, but that is so true. And we know that God is a divine energy, a creative divine energy. That's our spirituality. It's not a person, it's an energy. Creative beyond all human understanding. So it's a matter of training ourselves, training our mind to look for the good, to look for the good. Instead of saying how bad and how awful it is, we're going to look for a way out of it, for the lesson to be learned, for us to deepen into a soul's evolution. The possibilities are infinite. And I have used this, and I know many of you have, this spiritual teaching so many times when everything looked like, how's this going to work? I don't know. You don't know. But when you trust the source energy, when you trust that God is your source of all good, all is possible. But we must be open to that, and that takes training. That takes discipline. And the way to really discipline ourselves is to truly look for God's gift in the moment. This now moment, because it's never going to be any other moment. And we are being forced to look right now at every part of ourselves in a collective consciousness way too. It's a collective you can feel it. I've had more empaths say to me, I don't know what it is, but I feel this heavy energy. It's because we are feeling this collective consciousness. We are all in this together. We truly are. But first, before we can accept anything, we have to accept ourselves. And this is important, to be open and honest enough to see those dark things within us, to be open and honest and to accept them, and then to know that we are the light of God, and that's our truth. Holmes tells us this: the eternal gift is always made. The gift of God is the nature of God, the eternal givingness. God cannot help making the gift because God is the gift. God is the gift. And my friends, if God is the gift, then we accept it. Are we accepting the gift that's been given to us? Are we leaving the spirituality out of everything that's going on today? Because the freedom is in the fireworks, is that gift of accepting the love of God, which is always present. This creative, all-knowing energy that we call God. And the gift is beauty, and the gift is freedom. Found right in the middle of the fireworks of life. It's right there with all of the explosions going on. But if we could get to a higher perspective, we could then see beyond our current horizon. What I want to read to you right now, because I'm not going to read this whole other thing I had, but what I want to read to you is something that I wrote on Facebook yesterday. But I thought, you know what? It's my definition this year of the 4th of July and what it means to me right now. So I wrote this: celebrating freedom is a little different this year. And to some of us, it might not feel as if there's anything or we're free enough to celebrate. Part of me was feeling that same way. And I had to sit myself down and give myself a good talking to. So, just because we are doing things differently this year doesn't mean we can't enjoy freedom. I am celebrating the gift of free thought, free choice, being deeply grateful for all that is in my human experience. So grateful for it. And the most important aspect of freedom that I am celebrating is my choice to be spiritually conscious. To know that divine love guides me, supports me, and is always present for me. This is the truth for each of us. It really is. It is the truth. We all have this innate ability to align with a spiritual power that is always present and will guide us in every experience that life throws at us. True freedom, my friends, true freedom is recognizing that we are truly spiritual beings having this human experience. We have the freedom to choose how we think, act, and feel in any given situation. Let us consciously choose kindness, peace, and right action. Let us choose to be a light to ourselves and to others. And let us truly wake up and discover that no matter what is going on, the love of God is the only truth that exists. That's what I have for you on this 4th of July. But stay tuned right now because I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment.